It's nearly impossible for someone to be part of one legendary band, but Neil Young managed to be part of two. After starting with Buffalo Springfield, he then joined Crosby, Stills, and Nash in 1969. During this time, he contributed his unique style and songwriting skills to the group, helping them achieve even greater success. But he went solo in 1970, raising many questions. Did he clash creatively with his bandmates, pushing the boundaries too far? Or was it a clash of egos, each member wanting the spotlight? Could there have been secret tensions, personal differences, or unspoken pressures driving him away? In this video, let's talk about why Neil Young left Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Neil Young's career is full of ups and downs, so let's take a quick look at how it all began and how his musical journey evolved over the years. Neil Young was born on November 12, 1945 in Toronto, Canada, to a family background that was as diverse as his musical tastes. His dad, Scott Alexander Young, was a journalist and writer, while his mom, Edna Blow Ragland Rassey Young, had this interesting lineage with American and French roots, adding a touch of spice to Young's Canadian upbringing. Young's childhood took an unexpected turn when he contracted polio in the early 1950s. It was a tough battle, but he fought through it, although it left him partially paralyzed on his left side. The family then headed to Florida for milder weather to aid Neil's recovery. Young's early schooling took him from Omemee to Pickering, then Winnipeg, and finally settling in Toronto. And let's not forget the hilarious rumor of him getting kicked out of school for riding a motorcycle down the halls. Classic rebel move. The real magic started when Young fell head over heels for the music that he heard on the radio. His musical journey kicked off with his first band, the Jades, during his Winnipeg days. The music bug bit hard, and Young found himself in several instrumental rock bands while attending Kelvin High School. School took a backseat to his passion for music, and who could blame him? Young's musical taste was like a melting pot of genres. Rock and roll, rockabilly, R&B, country, you name it. He idolized legends like Elvis Presley and soaked in everything from Chuck Berry to Little Richard. It's no surprise that Young's early musical influences shaped his unique sound and style. His path took an interesting turn when he joined forces with Rick James and the Minor Birds. Things were looking up with a record deal in the bag. But things got bad when James got nabbed for being AWOL. Undeterred, Young and his buddy Bruce Palmer decided to take a wild ride to LA in a Pontiac hearse. Talk about a rock and roll road trip. LA wasn't just another stop on Young's journey. It was where Buffalo Springfield was born. Teaming up with Stephen Stills and Richie Furay, they created magic that blended folk, country, and rock into something truly special. Buffalo Springfield's rise was meteoric, but internal tensions and management issues eventually led to the band's end. Soon, Neil Young's solo career took off, showcasing his songwriting genius and collaborations with the likes of Crazy Horse. The road wasn't always smooth, but Young's passion and resilience kept him going strong. In 1969, Neil Young's musical journey took a significant turn when he reunited with Stephen Stills to join Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Their collaboration led to the formation of Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, taking them into the limelight as they debuted in Chicago and rocked the famous Woodstock Festival. However, behind the scenes, tensions were simmering. During the making of their first album together, Deja Vu, the studio witnessed heated debates, passionate arguments, and maybe a few guitars slammed down in frustration. Young and Stills, both strong-willed artists, clashed over creative control. Stills famously said Neil wanted to play folk music in a rock band. Young's focus was always on their fans and the authenticity of their music. He expressed, "We don't need to dilute it with all of that and become part of that whole thing," emphasizing the importance of staying true to their message and connecting directly with their audience. For Young, the essence of their music was in the genuine connection with their fans, not in conforming to industry norms or expectations. The rift between Young and his bandmates grew wider as they figured the complexities of fame and artistic expression. Young's desire to maintain artistic integrity clashed with the pressures of commercial success and the dynamics within the group. In 1970, Neil Young made the difficult decision to part ways with Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. He said, "It's just what I wanted to do. Focus on what the songs were about, and look on people's faces who came to see us and how we connected with them. To me, that was the holy grail. It was all that mattered to me. And once we started drifting away from that, I was gone. I didn't think about it from the standpoint of anybody else. I can't do what I do if I don't act like I believe." When Neil Young left Buffalo Springfield and Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, it wasn't just a simple "I'm out." It was more like a mixtape of reasons. First, with Buffalo Springfield, you had a band full of strong personalities and different musical tastes. Neil, being Neil, had his own ideas bubbling up all the time. But when everyone's ideas clashed, it was like a rock and roll tug of war. Neil felt like his creativity was getting stuck in traffic jams. And who likes traffic jams, right? So he hit the road solo. Then, with Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, it was a bit like being in a family where everyone loves each other, but they can't agree on what to have for dinner. Neil's musical vibe didn't always sync up with the group's vibe. He wanted to turn the volume up to 11, while others preferred cruising at a chill 5. This mismatch in musical styles and vibes made it hard to jam together, and Neil decided to rock out on his own stage. Leaving these bands wasn't just about strumming different strings. It was about Neil wanting the freedom to play his own melody. It was like breaking free from a jam session where everybody had their own drum beat. As a solo artist, Neil could finally crank up his amp, explore new sounds, and sing his heart out without worrying about hitting the wrong note. And that's how Neil's solo journey took off with the release of After the Gold Rush in 1970. This album was like a mix of great songs, including hits like Tell Me Why and Don't Let It Bring You Down. It was like Neil said, "Hey world, check out what I can do on my own." After rocking the solo scene, Neil didn't stop there. He went on this cool acoustic tour across North America in 1970. It's like going on a road trip with your guitar and sharing your music with fans in cozy venues like Carnegie Hall and Toronto's Massey Hall. Neil really knew how to connect with his audience and stay true to his vibe. Then came the biggie, Harvest in 1972. This album was a jackpot, featuring classics like Heart of Gold and Old Man. It was like Neil hit the musical jackpot and couldn't believe his luck. But hey, he deserved it for staying real and sticking to his roots. The early 70s were like a roller coaster of creativity for Neil. He teamed up with different musicians, jammed with the Stray Gators, and gave us albums like Tonight's the Night and On the Beach. These albums dived into deeper themes and showed Neil's edgier side. Despite facing some commercial ups and downs, Neil kept rocking. He reunited with Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, and had musical adventures with Crazy Horse and the Stills Young Band. Another iconic moment of his career was the Rust Never Sleeps tour in 1978. Neil's energy on stage was contagious, and the audience couldn't get enough. This era brought us albums like Rust Never Sleeps and Live Rust, capturing Neil's raw talent and diverse music styles. I think we can all agree that Neil Young's musical journey has been about staying true to his unique sound and artistic vision. From his beginnings with Buffalo Springfield to his solo career and collaborations, he has inspired countless fans and musicians worldwide. Young's authenticity and commitment to his craft make him a true music legend, leaving a lasting impact on the industry and generations of listeners. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to show your support for us by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for more fascinating stories from the world of music. And hit that notification bell so that you never miss out on our latest updates. Thanks for watching.